Hello, everyone. This is the second and last session for UPHESC. The exam is round the corner, so those who are preparing for UPHESC can make the most of this session. So Ankita has made a lot of wonderful questions. Yes. Ankita,
Yes.
so do you think our questions will help them?
Yes. And through these questions, they will also be able to check not only their conceptual clarity, but also where they stand in terms of their factual knowledge. And today, mostly we will be focusing on questions from literary theory, criticism, and Indian literature. Because in the previous exams, we have seen that lots of questions are coming from these areas. So yesterday we covered British literature thoroughly. So today we will be focusing more on theory, criticism, and Indian literature.
Okay, very good. Here's the first question. Who said that Shakespeare was the Homer or father of our dramatic poets? Johnson was the Virgil, the pattern of elaborate writing. This is a very famous statement made in of dramatic poesy. Neander is saying this. It is not Matthew Arnold, it is John Dryden who said this. John Dryden talked about Shakespeare in of dramatic poesy, and there are four characters there: Crites representing the ancients, Eugenius representing the moderns, Lycidius representing the French, and Neander representing the English. So it is Neander who represents Dryden who says this. That's right. Over to you, Ankita. Next question.
Yes. So now, dialogic is a term associated primarily with the works of whom? Is it Harold Bloom, Paul de Man, Mikhail Bakhtin, or J. Hillis Miller? So the theorist who talked about this idea as dialogic or dialogism, he is a major contributor in the theory of the novel. He wrote the famous book, The Dialogic Imagination, and he has propounded many major concepts like carnivalesque, polyphony, heteroglossia, chronotope, right? So it is none other than Mikhail Bakhtin. And Mikhail Bakhtin's idea of dialogic or dialogism, it's a theory of language and meaning, which believes that no utterance happens in isolation, right? Everything you say, it has a connection with the past utterances which have been made. So that's the idea of dialogism. Everything happens in a dialogue, everything is connected.
It is related to the concept of polyphony. And here, what is Bakhtin doing? He is rejecting a single authoritarian viewpoint. There is no single center. There are many conflicting elements at the same time in a dialogue within the text. The dialogic text will be polyphonic. Okay, the reader, the text to the poem by Dash defines reading as a transaction. Transactional theory of reader response criticism is propounded here, where meaning is created by an active reader engaging within a text rather than residing solely in the words on the page. So meaning is created by an active reader engaging within a text. An active reader is reading within the text and creating meanings. It is Louise Rosenblatt who is associated with the transactional theory of reading. She posits that it is not merely in the text, meaning is not merely in the text or the reader, but in the transaction between the text and the reader. Stanley Fish, Norman Holland, and Wolfgang Iser are other reader response critics. So Louise Rosenblatt talked about transactional theory of reading. Ankita, over to you.
So now we have a very important question from a very important text. It is Raja Rao's Kanthapura. And its preface is also very important, as you know. So in the preface to Kanthapura, Raja Rao mentions that the novel's language must reflect the tempo of Indian life, which is nothing but the spiritual. So, regarding the narrator of this work, who is Achakka, and the style of this novel, which of the following statements are true? First, the narrative style here resembles a Sthala Purana, that is, legend of a place, which blends myth with history. That sounds correct, right? Yes. Next, Achakka is an omniscient, detached narrator who critiques the village from a modern perspective. Is that correct? Let's see.
No.
Third, the novel uses a conversational style which imitates the oral storytelling traditions of Harikatha. And lastly, the narrative style is meant to represent the rapid pace of Western modernization in rural India. So here we're talking about Kantapura, the debut novel of Raja Rao, first published in 1938. And here the correct statements would be 1 and 3. Option 1 and 3 are correct. That is option B.
Excellent. So we can expect literary theory, we can expect traditional Indian literature. All these are important in the exam. Now, match the following. Thinking about women, the female eunuch, the dialectic of sex, and the feminine mystique. Who are the authors? Thinking About Women is Mary Ellman. Female Eunuch is Germaine Greer. Dialectics of Sex is Shulamit Firestone. And Feminine Mystic is Betty Friedan. Once again, Thinking About Women is Mary Ellman. The Female Eunuch is by Germaine Greer. Dialectic of Sex is by Shulamit Firestone. Feminine Mystique is by Betty Friedan. Feminine Mystique inaugurated second wave feminism. Ankita?
Okay. So who is associated with the concept of contrapuntal reading? Is it Homi Bhabha or Gayatri Spivak, Edward Said or Albert Memmi? So it is none other than the major post-colonial thinker Edward Said. Edward Said, in his critical collection of essays called Culture and Imperialism, published in 1993, talked about this concept of contrapuntal reading. And according to him, it's a strategy of a reading, or it's a style of reading which is meant to bring out or expose the concealed elements of imperialism within a text. And in this context, he gives example of Mansfield Park by Jane Austen, and he brings up the issue of slave plantations, which Thomas Bertram owns in this novel. So contrapuntal reading, it's a strategic style of reading which is meant to expose concealed elements of imperialism in a text. And Edward Said talked about it in his very important work, Culture and Imperialism, published in 1993. The years also are very important.
Yes, Culture and Imperialism is like a sequel to Orientalism. Edward Said is a very important post-colonial critic. So after all these exams, if you want to prepare for SSC CGL, Vallath is starting classes, 1 month intensive crash course. It is for people who have applied for this exam from Kerala and those who are going to write this exam, and also those who want to know more about this exam. So this is a very important career opportunity that you have. All of you should, try to write and pass this exam apart from other exams, because it can make you central government officers, then inspectors, etc. Okay, right. We are starting on 20th April, 3 days from now. Interpellation is a term used by whom in his discussion of how ideology and ideological state apparatus is open within a culture. The word comes from appellation, meaning to name. To interpellate is to call someone by name, to recognize them. Interpellation. Is it Foucault? No. Derrida? No. Terry Eagleton? No. It is Louis Althusser. Interpellation is related to ideological state apparatuses and repressive state apparatuses.
Yes. Cry the Peacock. It's a novel by Anita Desai, and it primarily deals with which of the following themes? Is it social progress and rural development? No. Is it about psychological conflict and mental anguish? Yes. Is it about political unrest in post-independence India? Not really. Is it about economic disparity among families? No. So it's about the psychological conflict and mental anguish the protagonist suffers from. Cry the Peacock, again, a very major novel by Anita Desai, which, captures the sufferings of women in post-colonial Indian setting. Yes.
Yeah, Maya just pushes Gautam, her
Hmm.
husband, to death from the parapet, and then she jumps and dies. First novel, debut novel by Anita Desai. The Female Imagination by Patricia Mayer Spax is a foundational work of feminist literary criticism that explores how women's writing differs from men's through psychological and literary analysis. It was published in which year? That is a question. I think Female Imagination is a very major work of gynocriticism. And it must have come definitely before, after Elaine Showalter wrote her Towards the Feminist Poetics also. It came in 1975, a very important year for me because that is the year in which I was born. Okay, next.
Who said that I am proud to belong to a religion which has taught the world both tolerance and universal acceptance? We believe not only in universal toleration, but we accept all religions as true. Who made this statement? Is it R.N. Tagore, M.K. Gandhi, Sarojini Naidu, or Swami Vivekananda?
I
Very
think everybody will
famously.
know.
Yes.
Everybody will know.
It
It
was,
is Swami
yes,
Vivekananda.
yes, yes.
Excellent. Now, which movement did Richards's Principles of Literary Criticism, I.A. Richards's Principles of Literary Criticism, significantly influence, focusing on the close reading of text? Which movement? It is New Criticism. I.A. Richards and William Emerson, F.R. Lewis, they were practical critics and they influenced New Criticism.
Yes.
New Criticism came in America. Ankita.
Huh. So here we have 4 statements from theory, but one statement is wrong. You tell me which one is wrong. Okay. The mirror stage is a crucial part of Lacan's version of how a baby becomes a self. That's correct, right? Yes. Next. Panopticon is a term associated with Foucault's discussion of surveillance and discipline in his work Discipline and Punish that was published in 1975. It's correct. Next. Penis envy is a concept of Freudian psychoanalysis, which asserts that the penis is the only sexual organ and the most valuable one. Yes, that's true indeed. Freud talked about it. Lastly, post-structuralism is a way of looking at the world that tries to reduce phenomena to their most basic level. No, it is structuralism, not post-structuralism, that tries to bring all the elements to their most fundamental units. It's like breaking the words to their, it's like breaking the atoms of a text. So structuralism is the movement, it's the lens which tries to reduce the world phenomena to their most fundamental units. It is structuralism, not post-structuralism. So last one is wrong.
Right. That's good. The poem Enterprise by Ezekiel is a metaphorical journey that can be interpreted as a journey of dash. The political journey of India after independence, the life of a poet, a business venture, the spread of religion. It is the political journey of India after independence in a way. But it is also a very universal journey. It is not confined to India and its politics. It is also a very universal journey of struggling against many odds and then surviving. So that is Enterprise by Nissim Ezekiel.
Yes. Now we have a question of pair matching. So here you have to find out which pair is wrong. In Other Worlds by Spivak, that's correct. It's a collection of essays by Spivak. Nation and Narration, it is also by Homi Bhabha, that's correct. Archive Fever by Greenblatt, no, it's by Derrida. But Bodies That Matter, it is by Butler. So option C is wrong. Archive Fever, it's a very major work by Derrida, not Greenblatt.
Excellent. The play introduced to the audience by Tom, the narrator and protagonist, as a memory play based on his recollection of his mother, Amanda, and his sister, Laura. The play is based on memory. Tom speaks as narrator and then he turns and becomes the character. So Tom cautions the audience that what they see may not be precisely what happened. This is the play Glass Menagerie by Tennessee Williams. Tom Wingfield is the narrator. So, dear friends, SSC CGL course for 1 month, you should try it out. It is not expensive, but you can get to know a lot of topics. You can get to know what to expect in this exam. It is going to be really beneficial to help you get to a great career. So, this is a central government job that you will get after this passing this exam. So don't take it lightly. Use this opportunity and get to know about SSC CGL 1 month intensive course. Thank you very much, Ankita. We have come to the end of this session. We wish all UPSC, UPHESC aspirants the very best. We hope you will all clear this exam. Go and rock. Do not be scared or worried or anything. Believe in yourself and stay hydrated.
Yes.
Ankita, what are your tips for them?
Yes, so all the very best from our entire team of Vallath to all of you. All of you have worked really hard, so stay calm. You will do well. Just read the questions carefully. Don't panic if a question seems too long to you, or at the beginning, if you see some questions which you are not confident about. Don't panic, because the later questions will be easy. Okay, so don't panic. You know you will be able to answer almost all of the questions correctly. Just stay calm, read the questions carefully, take all of your essentials to the exam center, like admit card, then the things need, like water bottle, ballpoint pen, your ID proof if you need it. All right, and all the very best. Take care of yourself. Yes, and we will be back again from Monday.
Yeah. So we had a very good time. Thank you all for being with us.